Welcome to the Barrel White Plays NIMBY Rails, German Rails. We're going to slowly but surely build the passenger rail system of Germany, starting with Rheinland, Pfalz, where I used to live and where I still visit occasionally. I'm going to go with the Regional Express Route 1, which runs from Mannheim on the Rhine all the way over to Trier on the Mosel. Saarbrücken was in the middle there on the Saar, and then all the way north to Koblenz, which is where the Mosel and the Rhine rivers come together. As you can see here, I'm starting with the Mannheim Hauptbahnhof, which is the main train station. HBF is the abbreviation for that. And I'm going to fiddle with these stations until they seem right, and then throw down a depot so we have a place for our trains to park at night when they are off duty. I'm using openrailway.org, I think is what it's called. Check my openrailwaymap.org to be able to see all the trains and stations, and I'm going to try to lay them out fairly close to how they look on the map. But there are some limitations, especially when it comes to like single rail routes, because the only way I figured out how to do it is to put down double rail stations, even if in reality it would be a single rail station, and the signaling would take care of trains that might be using the same track. Here I haven't figured out quite how to do that yet. This game is pretty neat, but I don't think I have it completely figured out. So here on the map, looks like we're already working on the second train station, and it's just right on the south side of the Main river there, and I'll keep working on that for a little bit. So I was saying that my previous 7 episodes of NIMBY Rails were in the UK, and I was really enjoying that, but one day I was working on picking what was going to be my next route, and I suddenly realized that people drive on the left, and so do the trains in the UK, and I wasn't doing anything in that way. I was doing all right-hand drive. As you can probably tell by my accent that I'm American, United States of America, and I should have known that. I've actually played other NIMBY Rails, privately, not recording, and I've done UK before, just messing around, and I did it left-hand drive like I should have, but here I was doing lots of work, making sure that I was recording regularly, and I was doing it completely right-hand drive, like a good American. So anyhow, it looks like we're finished with the second stop, and we're going to go down to the next stop, and I think I put on the screen what it was. I forget. I think it's maybe, I don't know. Oh, there it is already. It's a Ludwigshafen Hauptbahnhof. This is a pretty tricky one. I'm not going to build the entire station because it actually curves to the right, and then a couple platforms curve to the north. But we're just going to use this one here, and this one's very interesting in that it's there are like 4 platforms or 4 rails going into the platforms, and instead of right left like you see most of the time, the top 2 platforms are going to the left, and the bottom 2 platforms are going to the right, and that's interesting. It took me a little bit to figure that out. And as we'll see in the recording, it took me a lot of figuring out. I actually had to do quite a bit of cutting and redoing until I finally got it to work. But in the end, we'll get it to work. And as we do more and more, hopefully it'll get easier and easier to get things right. Had to pause there for a minute. So, but I was testing my audio because my first seven episodes, I did not record any audio from me, no speaking. It was all just subtitled, comments, not very much to say. And I did that because I was just being lazy, I suppose, and I really wanted to figure out my recording and my video editing before I started taking the time to talk into these. Even now, this is pre-recorded and I'm just doing a voiceover. Eventually I'll be recording them live, so it'll be a little bit more organic, a little less odd. Anyhow, I'm being all serious. Let's have fun with this. Because I have so much problems here getting the trains to go. And once I get the trains to finally go, they start going back and forth between stations because I just don't have things linked up right. You're going to see me for the first 4 or 5 stations do a complete test. Watch this. It'll go down, it'll go up. Oh, and see how it zinged back left? That means I've got something wrong. It cannot find the platform I told it to go to, so it backed up and tried a different rail. So I'm going to mess with this for a little bit. And I did, probably for a half an hour before I got it to work. Let's see if I can finally get it working. Sorry for the zipping around here. Hold tight, the seizure stuff is almost over. All right, now it's working. Let's get to the next station. Oh, I guess I'm testing it again. All right, I hope this is the last time. I think this is the last time. I've even slowed it all the way down to speed 2. There's the Hauptbahnhof. And now we'll go down to whatever that third station was. Was it Ludwigshafen? Yeah, right. No, Mundenheim. Right now it's waiting. It does that. It has like a pause or a minimum time between trains feature that I've got turned on. Yep, stops at Ludwigshafen again. And it should go to the Mannheim. Oh, I guess it'll stop here too. And now over to the Mannheim main train station. Yep. All right, now let's move forward. Maybe I need to slow my pauses down. Now, often what you need when you're doing these layouts like this is you need a left line and a right line. Rail, a right and a left rail. One going north, one going south. As you see, I just had like a third one. And I'm sure that I'm not using that with RA1. But since I'm building here anyhow, I'm going ahead and building that. And it's that single lane is most likely coming off of a smaller side track, and there's a lot of traffic back and forth on it that it goes both ways, so it won't be one way. And you'll see me throw down some directional signs here. There you go, right, left. Now that it's going to 4-lane, but as you notice between the signals, so here's the signals on this side of this, and up at the top there would have been signals as well. That left lane, when there's only 3, is bidirectional. But now we're down to 4 lanes. And I don't think this station that we're on right here, that most recent station, I don't even know if it's on our route. I mean, we obviously drive through there, but I don't even remember if that was one of the stops or not. All right, here's our first big split. We're going to go off to the left and go down to where are we going? To Neustadt on the Weinstrasse, I think, or maybe we're down to Hasloch. I think that's where we're going. We're going to Hasloch first. Hasloch. That's a interesting name for town. I would translate that as hate hole. But I imagine it has a different root. I'm still testing the route. I don't trust it. It took me so many tries to get it right past those first 3 stations. And then I keep testing it. I won't test it every time. Promise. It's interesting, the automatic names that NIMBY picks for a station when you put it down. This one here, I think it said Realschule, Hauptschule und Realschule. That must be the closest landmark there, but the train station itself is called Neustadt an der Weinstrasse. Neustadt on the Wine Road. I'm still testing. I hope I can live up to my promise and not testing after every single stop. Now, an interesting thing that we'll see over and over again with NIMBY rails is that you can pass over 19 roads or 19 little streams and rivers, but the 20th one will insist you put a bridge. I don't know what determines when it needs a bridge or not, so I'm always trying to do it without having to build a bridge, and then being surprised when it won't let me do it without a bridge. So you'll see me kind of stutter as I'm trying to cross things a lot. I'll point it out when I do it. I think in this episode you're going to see where I'm really using my signaling a little bit inconsistently. I hope as I test and test and test. Oh, I didn't have that off. That is now off. Pardon me. And we'll cut that out. And I forget what I was saying, so I'll just cut all that out. Oh, I remember I was talking about signaling and that I would probably be inconsistent because I start by trying to stick to the actual physical layout as much as I can, but then I realize more and more that there are just many circumstances where I cannot because of the limitations of NIMBY rails, or probably better said, the limitations of my understanding of NIMBY rails. So, although I played quite a few hours of the game, I still don't have it figured out completely, and I run into situations all the time where I'm like, gosh, how do I signal this? I'm not really sure. So, you may see some inconsistencies with the way I put my signals down. This part of this line, this is just incredible. I mean, I'm going very fast, and if I'm going too fast for enjoyment, please let me know in the comments. 4 times can be a bit, I don't know, confusing when it goes in and out, like I've been doing just right now. But then most of the time it seems that if I go slower, it just takes forever to do anything. But the reason I'm talking about this particular line that goes through the mountains here is that it's amazing. Not what I'm doing, but the fact that the Germans built this amazing train line. Just bridge after bridge, tunnel after tunnel. Just remarkable. How they wind their way up through these valleys, getting up into through the southern end of the region called the Hunsrück, and then up into the Eifel, which is a very, very hilly region. But it's just remarkable. Look at this. I'll kind of just do something here. I'll go like right here's a tunnel, a bridge. A bridge, a tunnel. There would have been some more bridges there probably. The game doesn't always insist that you put a bridge in. There's a bridge, now here's some more tunnel. There's a bridge. And here it actually runs in the sunlight. Oh, look, there's a good use of the curved tracks. And that's something I'm definitely going to recommend to folks. When you do the curved tracks, it's a little tricky to put it down if you're trying, especially if you're trying to make it small. But when you put it down, just drop it anywhere and then grab it and move it where you want it. But the most useful tip I have is that kind of put the middle where you want the middle, and the edges kind of at an average between where they're going to go, and then don't start your rail at the station. Build the rail 100 meters down the track, and then connect them, and it will bend perfectly. I just did it there. Alright, so we're coming up close to the end of this episode, and I decided that I would try to keep them under or close to 20 minutes. So we're not even to Saarbrücken yet. But I think we are to Kaiserslautern? No, Hochspeyer is I think it's where I end this time. Hochspeyer. I think it's before Kaiser. I forget that. We'll see. Let me quit trying to remember the route when we can just watch it. Hochspeyer, I think is a neat sounding name for a town. I don't know what Speyer is though. Hoch means high. See, here's what I'm talking about with the signaling. Just a little confusing. But that's it for this episode. Appreciate that you watched. I'm going to add a little bit of stats here at the end. We built 60 kilometers of rail and put down 8 stations. So thanks for watching. I hope you'll come back for the next one. Drop me some comments. Tell me what you think, what's good, what's bad, and subscribe and like, please.